Hi, this is Attorney Mike Grevin coming to you from Chicago, as usual, and today we're going to take another visit to the Fez in a little something we're going to call Sovereign Citizen Court Fail number 9. Let's do it.
KCL and the Cheyenne KCL cases. We get a little bit organized here. Under indictment 08-04-0441, this is the matter of the State of New Jersey versus Cheyenne Marrakush and also Nobling near KCL. Would the prosecutor enter his appearance on the record, please?
Judge Kennedy, the Assistant Prosecutor, Marrakush, State.
All right, and would the defense attorneys enter their appearance?
Teresa Gam on behalf of Cheyenne and Kashmir L.
Objection.
Well, of course there's an objection, and here we go.
I do not have a contract with the Public Defender's Office. I've never spoken to her, don't know where she's from. I don't know if she had no contract with them to be a representative for me in any way. As I said before...
All right, your objection is noted for the record. Let me just proceed for a moment, please.
Objection.
Objection is on behalf of the defendant, not to my immediate right, but at the end.
All right. What I have on my list today is the return date of the motion to dismiss for lack of in personam jurisdiction.
Unbelievable. They actually got it on file. Who knew it would ever happen? I've done, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these videos on this particular case, and they've been whining about jurisdictions since the get, but you know, they haven't been able to address it because there wasn't a proper motion on file. Well, hallelujah, here we are.
On behalf of Nobling near KCL and Cheyenne Matato KCL. However, before I get to that, Cheyenne Matato KCL, Kashmir L, I'm sorry. The way Ms. Ganim, the reason Ms. Ganim is here today, and I think you may recall this, is that I appointed the Office of the Public Defender to act as your attorney. I know that it was over your objection, but we had a hearing about it, and I determined that it was not in your best interest to proceed without legal representation.
Objection, ma'am.
I see your objection.
She must fill out IRS Form 56 and notify the IRS that she's acting in a fiduciary capacity.
Thank you for your irrelevant comment, proving the fact that you need an attorney and can't represent yourself.
You have to have a 1099.
I am Attorney Kashmir L. Please, I understand all your objections. You'll be able to put all your objections on the record. Just let me explain to you what is happening here. The court appointed her, the court appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, as Mr. Kiesler was appointed by the court to represent Noble in your KCL.
Objection, ma'am. Mr. Kiesler does not represent me in the matter.
Your objection is noted for the record. Please be quiet.
Please take judicial notice that a civil suit is being filed against the Office of Public Defense.
I will not take judicial notice of that because I do not have in front of me any document that has been filed with a document. Well, that may be, but I can't take judicial notice of something that is not here.
Well, that actually is interesting. You know, the judicial notice issue aside, I mean, that's really not relevant. You can just say I filed it, and you're in open court. That's all you need. That's all you need to do. You could provide a copy to the court if you wanted to, and I'm sure it's meritless, and you know that it's going nowhere. But it does create a conflict. You now are party opponent to your appointed attorney, and you know I don't know how the courts deal with that, but it does bring up an interesting point.
However,
I'm orally notified.
you can have about anything you want, but I can't take judicial notice of anything like that. However, what has become exceedingly clear to me is that it puts the Office of the Public Defender as an institution, Ms. Ganim and Mr. Kiesler as attorneys, in the most untenable position. And therefore, what I am doing is I am appointing them simply as standby counsel.
I'm objecting to that, ma'am.
You can object to anything that you want. As standby counsel, their only participation in this case will be to be present for every proceeding in the event Cheyenne Matato Kashmir L or Noble Near KCL you wish to consult with them about a legal issue, a factual issue, a procedural issue, or anything else. You don't have to talk to them at all if you don't want to. You don't have to take any advice from them, listen to them, or anything else.
You know, I have no idea. I've never been a judge. I've never been in a situation like this because, again, I've been practicing civil law, and you just don't have public defenders in civil law. But it seems to me that this is not a good plan. I don't know why she's having two attorneys sit through when it's clear that they won't be listened to. I did another video, and it was Judge Blackman somewhere. I'll put a link in the description below. And she did an inquiry based on a California case, and I think that that's probably standard law. And if the judge decides that the person is not capable of representing themselves, then they can just appoint counsel and be done with it. I think that this arrangement just makes no sense whatsoever, and I think it's pretty clear that these two are not capable of representing themselves.
Judge, when Office of Public Defense is being sued in a class action lawsuit.
That's fine. You can do what you want.
That is hilarious. Oh, that is just standard, not just sovereign citizen or more sovereign citizen, but just pro se, not having a clue. There is no reason for a class action. A class, you would have to you would have to first certify a class, and then their damages have to be the same, which is just simply not the scenario here. I mean, there's no basis for a claim against these attorneys whatsoever, but a class action is just even dumber and makes it harder.
Like I said, you asked me if I would take judicial notice of it. I am unable to take judicial notice of any lawsuit that I don't have here in front of me.
Simply orally notify me.
Well, if you read the rules, however, you will note that the court does not take judicial notice of oral notification.
Well, I must object.
You object to
Office
this?
of Public Defense is being sued. They cannot represent me.
They're not representing you.
And here's where she just continues to put herself in bad positions, in my opinion, with this. She says they're not representing him. She just said that they were representing him. She said they were representing them as standby counsel. I've never heard of such a concept. Yeah, but on some level, they are representing them. And then you know, they're making all these objections, and she's indulging all this nonsense, and you end up looking silly. I mean, it's her fault.
That was what I just said. They are here simply as standby counsel. If you wish to consult with them, ask them for their advice, ask their opinion, ask them about procedure, whatever it is.
The only question I would have to ask them, ma'am, if you go on trial in federal civil court, district court.
The question I do have, ma'am, is if the woman,
Ms. Gannon.
Ms. who?
Gannon, G-A-N-I-N.
Gannon, and gentleman Keesler, would have to fill out IRS Form 56, and I would need copies of the 1099 ORD that Mr. Luciano is supposed to file and notify the IRS. If anybody's acting in a fiduciary capacity.
I just love the feigned concern for the IRS form. I mean, you don't have to do this. He's just wrong, and it's silly. But this is the third time he's brought up the IRS nonsense.
You have to sign IRS Form 56 and notify the IRS that they're acting in a fiduciary capacity.
I would also be needing copies of those filled out applications to the IRS.
There's no need to respond, Mr. Keesler.
Your Honor, I'm going to relieve now appointed standby counsel, and we take a position behind.
Yes, yes, sir.
Judge, if I may, before I take the position behind, if I may, for the record, show I'm giving the discovery that was given to me by Mr. Luciano to Cheyenne and Petitioner L. Thank you.
All right. I know there has been some discussion about discovery, and that envelope of discovery is for you, Cheyenne, Tonor Q9.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you a question, both of you and each of you. I know that in the past I have referred to you either as Mr. L, Mr. Kushimir L, and I think it was Nobling or KCL indicated to me that that was not an appropriate way in your society to address you. I would like to ask you if there is a way that is appropriate other than to say Nobling or KCL and Shania Mutada KCL. Shania Mutada Kushimir L. To shorten it, if there is an appropriate way to address you.
Well, the only proper ways to address us would be sovereigns of the Marrakush Society.
Would be what?
Sovereigns of the Marrakush Society.
Oh, that doesn't help. That doesn't specify which one of you, and it's not shorter. But she deserves it. She set herself up for this.
Well, the problem is I cannot say to you, sovereign of the Marrakush Society, because there's two of you, and the record would not know that I am addressing you. So if I say sovereign of the Marrakush Society, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me break this in. Sovereign?
Sovereigns of the Marrakush Society. Other than that, there will be no problem with other ways to address us by other than Noble and KCL,
Okay.
Noble Shine, and so
That's fine. That's fine. Then I will refer to you. Now, are you also referred to as Noble?
Yes, I'm the nobleman.
Okay.
You have absolutely got to be kidding me. That'd be like me walking into court and saying, henceforward, I shall be referred to as Sir Michael the Great. And just expecting the court to go along with that. It's insane.
That is my title.
I have not received anything from you that
I have filed via Superior Court Clerk and Criminal Case Management all documents, authentic documents regarding my identification. It should be in your possession at this particular point because this was filed last year.
I got a suggestion. How about Dumb and Dumber?
Well, there are many documents here, many of which are completely unintelligible. However, there was never any indication by you in court, and I didn't see anything in the documents that indicated you wanted me to refer to you that way.
Yes, ma'am, it is. I have the video. I have the video and audio.
It has escaped my recollection. But I will certainly refer to you from now on as Shina Mutada Kushimir L, as I have referred to Noble Napier Kushimir L as well. KCL, I'm sorry.
I don't know, but I highly doubt that they went through the proper procedure to change their name. She knows because they have the information on these guys, and what she should do is call them Mr. Jones or Mr. Smith or whatever their last name is, and be done with it, and stop indulging whatever fantasy that they want to come up with.
As well as a notice of removal has already been put in. The Superior Court clerk, as well as criminal case management, as well as the prosecutor's office, has made it extremely and exceedingly difficult to serve the papers of the notice of removal on this court.
On this court?
Yes, ma'am.
All you do is go to the first floor and
I do it all the time, but the women down there seem to not understand where the papers were supposed to go and what was supposed to be done with it. So you should be in receipt of those documents filed with the federal court, docket number 1.
Do you have a copy of them with you now?
I'll just serve the paper down.
You don't have a copy for yourself?
Oh, so you just served the papers a few minutes ago. That would explain why I don't have them yet.
Yes, but
because the last time this matter was before the court.
This was on short notice. I actually have to be at the federal court in a few minutes. Actually, this was completely notification that I received to.
Well, there you have it. Still not making much progress. In one of the prior videos, it sounded like we were getting somewhere with this notice of removal, but she hasn't even seen it yet. Of course, he's filed a class action suit against the public defender's office for no reason, and we still don't know what to call the defendants. That's where we are. Here at Law Talk, we answer all your legal questions and give detailed analysis of current events. Who am I kidding? We just mostly laugh at horrible, horrible court appearances. And occasionally you might learn something, but I promise I'll try to keep that to a minimum. Thanks for watching.